Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Friday, April 12th, 2019. We're starting at our new time, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. This will be the time that we start moving forward. We're doing this because baseball season is underway, and baseball games, a lot of them tend to start early in the daytime. So we don't want to miss any low-hanging fruit. And maybe just going forward, we'll just keep it at this time. It seems like a lot of people preferred this time, so I'm thinking Monday through Saturday we'll start at this time, and when we do those special Sunday broadcasts, probably start at this time as well. We've done Sunday 3 or 4 weeks in a row now. We might do it this week too because we have the NBA playoffs underway and the NHL playoffs. So maybe through this playoff season we'll just go 7 days a week. But as always, let's start off with a little bit of review. We'll take a peek at the MLB and the NHL yesterday. NHL went as expected. So this Marlins-Red game started early. We didn't have any opinion on that. But we did say at the beginning of the Athletics and Orioles series, which was a 4-game series, we said before it even began, let's expect the Orioles to be 5-8 at the end. And sure enough, they're 5-8, and not only are they 5-8 at the end, but they lost 5-8. And how did we know that? Because Oakland equals 58, Baltimore equals 58. Anytime you can get cities that have the overlap numbers, it's very possible that those numbers are going to hit. And obviously, that's not going to happen in every series, but that's something you can always look for. You know, if you see that that's a possibility that the series could end that way, then you know you're probably in business. So overlap numbers, you know, it's kind of like the Seattle-Kansas City thing. We expected Seattle to get to 12-2 against Kansas City because Kansas City equals 122 and Seattle's on the 122nd meridian. And that might be I've said this before. It's hard to learn, every city's coordinates and have all this, on the cuff. I remember that about Seattle because I live in Seattle, right? And we've talked about the 122 relationship with the Bay Area and Seattle many a times. So anyway, the 5-8 riddle came through with that. Caller yesterday pointed out that if the Tigers lost, they'd be 8-5 heading into the Twins series. He was right on. Twins equals 85. They're going to start their series against the Twins. The Indians also became 3-3 away. That was an overlap number there. Cleveland and Tigers 33. Tigers, if you use the rule for S, is also 42. Tigers is 33 and 42, so they're 4-2 at home. The Dodgers and Cardinals game, when we were looking at this, it was already underway yesterday, but we saw that the Cardinals pitcher, he was going for a win number that corresponded with the date numerology. I think maybe he was going for his 54th win, but we saw that his stats would sync up with the date numerology. Let's see if he got the credit. Where's he at? Well, he didn't get the credit, though. But even though he didn't get the credit, his stats aligned with the date numerology. That was the one thing we saw for St. Louis. So he did not get that stat, but that might be something to remember. Even though his stats lined up that way, so his team got it, he didn't get it. The other thing we were looking at, though, is that St. Louis has the Gematria 43. The Dodgers could have become 4-3 away, and the Cardinals could have become 4-3 at home. But the pitcher stat seemed to have been the greater foretelling thing there. Seattle came back and won it. This game was underway when we started yesterday, too. We pointed out that Royals in the most pure cipher equals 27, like MLB. If you use the rule for S, it's also 36. It's 27 in the more pure, though. They did become 2-7 at home. The Mariners are going to return to Seattle. Today they start a series with the Astros. And we looked at how Mariners and Astros equals 43, the 14th prime. It's possible that Seattle picks up their 14th win today to start this series on the date with 19 numerology. Of course, Seattle's 19. S is the 19th letter. It's 2019. Royals lost 6-7, kind of like 67, the 19th prime. Mariners changed the name of their ballpark this year to T-Mobile Park, which equals 67, the 19th prime. So there weren't a lot of great clues that we saw in this game yesterday. I made the comment, though, that, if they win, they'd have a chance to pick up 14 to open it up with the Astros. So see about that. We liked the Red Sox to beat the Blue Jays yesterday. Blue Jays equals 49. This game looked like it was perfectly synced up with the Super Bowl 49, NFL 49. We talked about the tribute to the dead Boston Red Sox writer that was given on April 9th, 49. His name was Nick Cafardo, which equals 49. So the Red Sox pitcher stats in this case were kind of concerning. It was the one apprehension, but it just seemed to sync up too well with the Super Bowl. Plus, like we said, yesterday was 11/4, like 114. The Red Sox just won the 114th World Series. That World Series was perfectly synced with the Super Bowl. You know, we called that months and months in advance before the World Series even came around. Now that could be also perfect. Then the Red Sox became 1-1 at home on the 11th. Football, the game of 11 on 11. This Mets-Braves game, there wasn't a lot to go off of. I thought the Braves were going to pull it out, though, because the pitchers in these games, the stats seem to align better for the Braves. So, reminder, it's nicer to pick a game when you have more information to go off of. But based on the pitcher stats and the date numerology, I thought the Braves were going to prevail there. Pirates and Cubs, I thought the Pirates would get it done. Pirates equals 74. The Cubs open their next series against Anaheim. Anaheim equals 39. The word angel, the singular is 39. Again, Mike Trout signed through the age of 39. So I was thinking the Cubs would kick off this Angels series 3-9. And the Pirates would get to 7-4. That wasn't so. Padres, Diamondbacks, I was wrong about as well. The Padres had a first-time pitcher going. Let's see how he did yesterday. The first-time pitcher's name equaled 86. I thought that was a sign that the Padres would become 8-6. Looks like he had a good debut. Only 1 earned run, 5 1/3 innings. Funny that he threw 85 pitches, not 86. Zach Godley had a bad game. He got destroyed. But yeah, I was thinking that pitcher's name equaling 86 was a sign. And also, the other thing we talked about in this game was San Diego equals 43. They could have become 4-3 away. And Diamondbacks and Arizona equal 42. They could have become 4-2 at home. But I did say there was one caution. I said San Diego Padres is 137, the 33rd prime. The Manny Machado signing was all about 33. Arizona is on the 33rd parallel. So, I mean, there was a little riddle for this, but I thought the Diamondbacks would come through in that one. And then we couldn't really find anything with the Giants-Rockies game. So, anyhow, 1, 2, 3 games that really surprised me in the MLB yesterday. Well, I shouldn't say really surprised me, but 3 games we were on the wrong side of, that's for sure. So, in the NHL, we had the right assumption. I assumed only one road team would win yesterday, and it would be the Toronto Maple Leafs. Their 101st season, the 101st day of the year. Only one road team did win, and it was the Maple Leafs. So remember, the Maple Leafs have that really special alignment if they win the Stanley Cup. So Maple Leafs, only road team to win. That means road and home teams for the first day of the playoffs for all 8 games that were played. The record's 4-4 right now. 4 road teams won, 4 home teams won. But and I'm assuming that this Flames Avalanche series will be 4-1. That's another thing that I see coming here. That the Flames will win 4-1 in this series. It's my hunch on that. So, not bad in the NHL. All in all, it was an okay day. Well, I wish those 3 baseball games didn't happen, but hey, it wasn't the end of the world. So, it was nice to see the Baltimore thing come through with the 5-8 score, though. That made me laugh. And Tiger had an okay day in the Masters. So, He's in the hunt. We'll keep our eye on that. We're also keeping an eye on Rory McIlroy and possibly the defending champion, see what he does. So there's a lot of golf to be played. Can't come to any conclusion so far. The man out there who asked me to do a decode on Dale Earnhardt, I did put up a post on my blog. I'll do a video on it later, just in case you're out there. This was the other guy we're keeping an eye on, because I talked about how he was part of the riddle with Tiger Woods last year at the Masters. So he's the one other guy. We're keeping an eye on 4 guys. Here, just for kicks, let's see who this guy is. This DeChambeau guy. I don't know that guy. DeChambeau. Bryson DeChambeau, 25 years old. Let's sync up with him. "207 days after his birthday," which means the championship's 210 days after his birthday, or his 211th day of his age. If you count the full span. Bryson DeChambeau. See his full name. 4-part name. Oh, well, his last name is 207. That's interesting. And the tournament we just saw that it began 211 days after his birthday. That's interesting. About Phil Mickelson, how did things line up for him this year? "299 days. That means the tournament would end on his 303rd day of his age. And okay. Okie dokie. Tiger and Mickelson, they did that little mono-y-mono tournament last year. And we figured Mickelson was going to win that one. I forget what it was. I'd have to go back and look at it. It was something about the number, the bet or something, the amount of money. Had some sync with Mickelson. I remember that went to extra holes. Maybe it went to the 23rd hole. What was that tournament? If I can pull it up here real quick. Mickelson. I forget what that was. I probably have so many posts with these guys' names in it. I'll have to go back and look at what that was. I do remember they had some event last year, though. Okay, let's get to today's games before we get too far into it. How the amazing Mariners are playing like baseball's best team. A new approach at the plate and a lesson from Japanese business. Okay. All right, let's do today's games. All right, let's again start with the date numerology. So it's the 24th day of the MLB season if you counted the start as March 20th when the official first game was played between the Mariners and Athletics in Japan. Today has the 55 date numerology, the 28 date numerology, and the 19 date numerology. Seattle 19. Notice they're on the front page at ESPN this morning. Of course, 19 is the 8th prime number. So let's just see if anybody's going for a streak of 8 today. See if there's any streaks of 8 on the board. Wow, the Royals streak of 10. No, I don't see any streaks of. Nobody's going for that. Nobody's at 7 right now. The longest streak is a losing streak at 10. Ooh, the Mariners and Astros today are going to face each other. All three of these teams have a winning streak of 6. Amazing. All in the AL West. That's interesting. Cardinals at a 5-game streak. All right, so nobody's going for 8, unfortunately. That could have been a low-hanging fruit. So again, 55, 28, 19. Seattle has Gematria of 19 in the most pure cipher. It's also 28 if you use the rule for S. The lesser numerology is 35. Because it's the 12th, maybe keep an eye on 37s. Pitcher's going for his 37th win or loss. 37, the 12th prime. It's the 102nd day of the year, leaving 263 days remaining. 263 is the 56th prime number. So that said, let's where did my bookmarks go? Hold on, there it is. All right, we'll use this today. All right, let's see what it is for the Angels and the Cubs. So not a lot of history with these teams. It's going to be the 15th game today. The Cubs are 4-3 at home against Anaheim. I know Chicago does have that connection to 44. All right, let me get up the calculator here. All right. Just seeing that if Chicago lost, they would be 4-4 at home against the Angels. They're 4-3 right now at home. They lost 2 in a row. They'd be 4-5. Cubs 45, Wrigley 45, Illinois 45. Cubs look like the big favorite though here. All right, so let's see. Oops. Tyler Skaggs, 22 and 32. $19 and 26. On the 19 date, he could stay on 19 wins. He has 19 wins with the Angels. Okay. 77 is a number that's relevant to Chicago. It's divided into 77 neighborhood areas. About Cole Hamels. Cole Hamels is going for his 158th win or his 115th loss. And with the Cubs, 5-3. 6-3 and 5-4, both major league and baseball numbers. It could go either way. See how it lines up here. July 13th. "39 weeks after his birthday." Again, Anaheim's 39, Angels 39. I was thinking the Cubs were going to start this series 3-9. It's interesting that it's 39 weeks after his birthday. "92 days upcoming," or a span of 93. Cole Hamels. December 27th. To Cole Hamels' upcoming birthday is 167 days, the 39th prime. That's interesting. Oh, wait, no. I got in the wrong date here. Whoops. Let's see. 259 days. 37 weeks to his upcoming birthday. Chicago's 37. And his last birthday, 106 days, or his 107th day of his age. All right, let's run the Gematria real quick. Angels, 58. The Cubs could become 5-8 today against the Angels. They'd also be 3-1 at home, and Angels is 31. Angels is 22 as well, though, so it makes it a little bit iffy. But okay, that's something. Anaheim is 48 as well. I should have considered that more yesterday. It's just I saw that Pirates was 74 and Anaheim was 39. So anyway, they're 4-8 to start the Anaheim series. All right. It was Cole Hamels' 107th day of his age. Los Angeles Angels. They're the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, which makes it confusing. Los Angeles. And how was it here again? Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Both of them carry the value of 139. That's interesting. If the Cubs won today and lost tomorrow, they become 5-8. We saw Angels is 58, and if they lost, they'd be 5-9. Angels 59. What about from this other way? Cubs. Cubs. Games of the series is what I want to see. 1, 2, 3. 3-game series. Last game on the 14th. So the last game will be on a date with 18, 37, 57 numerology. Hamels is 58 as well, like Angels. Got the 22-31 thing. Skeggs has numbers like Chicago. I think I'm digging the 5 and 8 thing just because Hamels and Angels have it. And we saw how if they won today, there'd be a good shot at a loss tomorrow because Los Angeles Angels is 59. Yeah, I think it's the 58 just because we got overlap with that. Skeggs guy just got these Chicago connections. I mean, that might mean it's favorable for Chicago. Chicago's 35, 37, 46. So yeah, the 5 and 8, since we saw overlap with that number with the pitcher and the team, I think that's the better riddle. Now this looks like some low-hanging fruit. What do you think? 3 and 9 in New York? I'm thinking that's pretty likely. 3 and 9 in New York. I guess the only thing you could say is they could become 3 and 3 away. New York is also 33, but between those two numbers, 39 is the more significant number, absolutely. The World's Fair was in New York in 39, not 33. Let's see what else is going on here. I'm already banking on the 3 and 9 though, but let's see. White Sox. White Sox have the 39 connection as well. Chicago. White Sox. Yankees are trying to become 6 and 7. That would also make sense for today's date being 6 and 7 because it's kind of like 67, the 19th prime on the 19 date. Yankees. New York Yankees. Lucas Giovanni. His name's got the 39 connection as well. It's also got the 102 connection. Today's the 102nd day of the year. App's got the 67 connection. This pitcher for the White Sox could get his 19th loss today on the 19 date. So there's another thing going against the White Sox. And Hap's off to a bad start, but he's a pretty good pitcher early in the season. He's at 109 wins, 83 losses. A lot going on there. And 14. So 272 days from the last. Oh, if you do the full span, it would be 39 weeks from his last birthday for another 39. Crazy. Huh. That 3 and 9 is looking pretty promising. His name's 39, 39th week of his age. New York. October 19th. Weeks. Well, Yankees look good. Yankees look good from all sorts of angles. Well, the only thing I could say is from Hap's. I was just looking for any devil's advocate thing. It is 25 weeks from Hap's birthday. He could make his team 2-5 at home, but that 39 is screaming out all over the place. So we saw that pitcher could get his 19th loss as well on the 19 date. All right, Pirates and Nationals. Now, Nationals has the 33 connection, which has the 66 connection. I don't like that their records are the exact same because you can make these riddles either way. Everything's the same. 33, 66. Somebody's going to get it. Let's see here. Pittsburgh Pirates. Nationals are at home. Nothing screaming out about those numbers. Let's just do the Gematria real quick. Pirates. 102nd day of the year. Pittsburgh has the Gematria of 6 and 7 or 7 and 6. That's not helpful. Nationals. If Washington lost 2 in a row, they could get to 58. 5 and 8 is what I mean. Washington Nationals. See the pitchers' names. Corbin. Williams. Corbin Williams. Trevor Williams. Patrick Corbin. Let's see. Trevor Williams, 23 and 20. April 25th, so he's coming up on his birthday. It's in 13 days. Check Corbin. Weeks in a day. Oh, no. I was getting dyslexic with the Nationals record. If they lost 2 in a row, they wouldn't get to 5 and 8. The one thing that stood out is Pirates have that connection to 67. If they did lose 2 in a row, they could get to 6 and 7. Washington's a big favorite though tonight. I don't like this game just because, Nationals, like I said, has the connection to 33, and 33 has the strong relationship with 66. And obviously one team's going to get that tonight, but you could make an argument for either team. I'm not seeing anything stand out with the pitchers. Check Corbin stats. Maybe I forgot to check Corbin stats. Ooh, Corbin could get his 55th loss on the 55 date. That's something. He could get his 55th loss on the 55 date. Washington's a big old favorite. If the Nationals do lose this game, I have a feeling they'll lose the next one too, because we saw how Pirates equals, or how Pittsburgh has the connection to 67 and 76. So that's the only thing standing out here, is that Corbin could get his 55th loss on the 55 date numerology for his career. Yeah, you got to be careful with that game though, just because the record riddle could make sense either way. But the pitcher here, the loss syncs with the date. Okay, Tampa Bay Rays and Blue Jays. So we know Blue Jays is 49. They're 4-9 right now. Let's see what they've done against each other. Should I do it this way? So they have, so Toronto at home is 99 and 87 against Tampa Bay, 173 and 198 all time. Okay. What's there? 3 and 4 at home. Toronto Blue Jays. Pitchers. Ryan Stanek. Nothing standing out there about that. Trent Thornton. Oh, hold on. I hear a phone call. Hey, what's up, caller?
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, on this game right here, I see the 14, like it's a 14, so I wanted to know, like, is it a 14 attached to one of these teams, and maybe that can define the game?
Oh, okay, hold on. You see a 14. What's the four?
Well, I mean, it's a lot of, it's if the they get their 10th loss, it's kind of like 41, the reflection of 14, and then the Tampa Bay get their fourth loss, that's the 14, and then I see they playing in 707. That's 14. Then they got the minus 140 line. So it seemed like they coding the game with a 14. So I was just wondering.
That is a good observation. All right, hold on. Well, I think I just saw 43 up on the screen. Thornton, the pitcher for the Blue Jays, is 43, the 14th prime. If I spelled his name right. Yeah, I did. Thornton. So he's got the 43 connection.
That's all you see? It's just him?
Well, I haven't fully decoded it yet, so I got to keep looking at things. But yeah, as we decode this, I'll look at.
But that kind of makes sense, because if the Blue Jays do win, they will give, and then actually that makes sense, because that's the 14. Because if the Blue Jays do lose, you get the 14, but it's the reflection. If Tampa Bay lose, you really get the 14 in your face. And then you said that the Toronto is the pitcher that can actually give them the 14.
Right. 10 and 4 does look more like 14. I agree. I'm pretty sure when you write, pretty sure when you write out 14, it equals 104. Let me check that real quick.
Yeah, because I know they got the line at minus 140. They just got it written coded on, and then they got them playing at 707. So that's real strange.
Yeah, that was a good observation with all those 14s all over the place. So
okay, so I'll look more with the Blue Jays and see if I can find something.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna keep peeking at it here, but yeah, great observation. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, if anybody else called in earlier, I'm not sure. I had the phone on vibrate in the corner of the room charging, so it caught my ear there, and I don't have the best hearing, but if I missed any calls, apologies. You can always call back in. The phone's on now, so I won't miss it this time. Okay, so Thornton, though, has that 43 connection, the 14th prime. We still got to look at his stats. Thornton, see if there's anything else here. All right. So this guy doesn't have a lot of history starting. It doesn't look like 2 and 3. Okay. And Trent Thornton. So he's a new guy. He's pitching well, but he hasn't gotten a decision yet. But he's looking pretty nasty. 15 strikeouts in 10 innings. So yeah, it looks like this guy's doing something. Let's see how it lines up with their birthdays. Got the July 26th birthday. 260 days. September 30th. What's going on here? Let me just take a peek one more time at the team Gematria. Make sure I'm not overlooking something. Tampa Bay's 25, the reflection of 52. They could become 5-2 away. Oh, Tampa Bay Rays does have the 52 connection. They could become 5-2 away, so that would jive a little bit. And Tampa Bay Rays is also 43, the 14th prime. So they have, as a team, they have a relationship of 14. Toronto. Oh, and then Toronto Blue Jays is 59. So if the Blue Jays win, they're 5-9. So yeah, I do like the Blue Jays here. I think the Blue Jays got the better riddle. 5-9, 5-2. The thing with 14 becoming 10-4. So yeah, Blue Jays seem to have a better narrative here. And this guy right here looks nasty. He hasn't got a decision yet, but well, it looks like this Ryan Stanik's not doing bad as a starter either, huh? He's got a low ERA. Go back and check out his stats one more time. He hasn't pitched nearly as much. Okay, so he hasn't pitched quite as much. But yeah, man, he's averaging more than a strikeout per inning. Not like the other guy though. The other guy had almost as many, he had half as many. He had like a ratio of like 1 strikeout to 2 batters. Okay, but yeah, I'm digging that Toronto Blue Jays 59 thing. So I'm also noticing that Toronto Blue Jays is 193, the 44th prime. They can become 4-4 at home. And notice this series is starting, and Toronto Blue Jays is also 103. Tampa Bay comes in 10-3. That's interesting. Somebody out there is probably looking at the 113 because we know how they like that number. But even still, the fact that 59, 44, and 52 fit, I got to go with that. All right, so Orioles and Red Sox. I think how many games is this series here? Let's see this series. 1, 2, 4-game series. I'm right about this. Maybe I'm not. What was I thinking? Oh yeah, that's what I knew. I for some reason I was looking at this series last night. And I swore there was an 89. So Baltimore Orioles is 89. I just wonder if the Red Sox could sweep the Orioles and become 8-9. Boston's a 260-point favorite. Remember, Boston, Massachusetts equals 260. The Boston Marathon bombing, which was synced up with last year's World Series. Remember, Boston Marathon bombing equals 114. It was 2,018 days from the Boston Marathon bombing to the start of the World Series in 2018, the 114th. But the Boston Marathon bombing was on the day, leaving 260 days left in the year. So I'm thinking this line is telling us who's going to win. Make sure I'm not overlooking something here. But yeah, I could see the Red Sox sweeping this series. They got something to prove after their start. Orioles are 4-2 away. Orioles is 42. Hess Rodriguez. Let's see here. Hess. David Hess. David Hess. 53 Gematria like Boston Red Sox. Rodriguez. 241, the 53rd prime. Also, 191, the 43rd prime. He could make the opponent 4 and 3 away. Let's check out these guys' stats here. Four and 11. So that's something for Hess. If he did win, he would have a prime number relationship 5 and 11. But if he lost, his record would be just like the date, April 12th, 4-12. Okay. All right, let's check out. Well, here, let's see his date of birth. July 10th. Huh, it's 89 days to his upcoming birthday. Baltimore Orioles 89. Interesting. It's also, if you count the full span of days from his birthday, it's 276 days after. If you count the full span, it's 277. That's the 59th prime number. So this guy, it's his 277th day, hit the 59th prime. Notice both teams could be 5 and 9. All right, let's check out Eduardo here. He is 32 and 27, comes in with 59 decisions. Off to a bad start this year, looking for his first win. Eduardo Rodriguez, April 7th. So he just had a birthday. It's 5 days after his birthday. 5 days, going for the 5th win. Yeah, as bad as he pitched, it's interesting how much of a favorite Boston is. But the other thing I could say about Boston becoming 5 and 9 is those are the two numbers when written out as words in the single digits. 5 is 42 and 9 is 42. And Orioles has that 42 connection as well. But I'm thinking the one narrative that I saw for the Orioles was just that pitcher getting to that 5 and 11 record, the prime relationship. But again, he could be 4 and 12 on the date, April 12th. I'm just thinking that Red Sox probably do win this game and very possibly do sweep the series because Baltimore Orioles is 89. Let's see who the Red Sox play after that. Then they got the Yankees, huh? Do the Yankees have a connection to that number? The Orioles, who do they play next? We got the Devil Rays next. Well, we'll continue to monitor. But yeah, very interesting how it's on his 277th day of his age, the 59th prime, and both teams can become 5 and 9. That could be a big clue. Let me check Fenway also. Okay. White Park. Nothing going there. Okay. Phillies and Marlins. Philadelphia is 101, the 26th prime. I just see the Marlins could become 2 and 6 at home. Arrieta, I didn't know that. I don't follow the games closely enough, but I didn't know that he was on the Phillies now, Jake Arrieta. I remember when he threw the first no-hitter of the season for the Cubs en route to the World Series. And that's something to pay attention to. A lot of times the first no-hitter of the season will be connected in a riddle to the World Series. So look for that whenever we get our first no-hitter this year. All right, let's see. Phillies. Phillies. Philadelphia. So they're the Miami Marlins now. Miami Marlins. Miami. They did start the year at 3-8 though. Florida's 38. Now I see Miami Marlins has this connection to 85. So I think there's a good chance here after the next two games, the Phillies are at a record of 8-5. That's something to keep in mind. So that could be a strategy to just wait and see what happens in today's game, unless we can get a good clue here. All right, Arrieta though. Going for his 100th win or 69th loss. So he's been on the Phillies for a minute. 11-12. What's Marlins equal again? Oops. Okay. Marlins is 86 as well. Okay. Alcantara. So just 3-3, not a lot to go off of. Alcantara is 26. That's standing out. We were just talking about that. That the Marlins could become 2-6 at home against Philadelphia. Philadelphia is 101, the 26 prime. Miami is also 27. So actually, there's more to think about here. If Miami lost 2 in a row, they'd be 2-7 at home. Ah, look at that, actually. Philadelphia Phillies. It would be in reverse, though. Wouldn't quite be the same. I was just thinking if they had 13 losses and 3 wins, but that's backwards. Let's see how it stands up here. Okay, he was 26, right? Arrieta. So let's see the birthdays here. 31 weeks after his birthday. Upcoming birthday being 148 days. March 6th, he just had a birthday. 37 days after his birthday. Well, my hunch for this game would just be with the 26 on the board, and again, Philadelphia 101, the 26 prime. My hunch is that Philadelphia probably wins this game, especially seeing that the starting pitcher's name equals 26. I didn't see any 64 connections. I was hoping there'd be a 64 because 311 is the 64th prime. But didn't that pop up? Let me just see what Florida Marlins is. Let me see what Derek Jeter is. He's running the team, isn't he? But yeah, I'm thinking that this is the most likely number to come through, and then we'd have to think more about tomorrow because Miami is 27. If they lost today, they would have a chance to become 2-7 at home. But we saw Miami Marlins is also 85, so we'd have to look. The over/under's at 8.5. That's funny. But yeah, I'd give the edge to the Phillies because of this right here, the 26 thing. All right, Mets and Braves. I think Atlanta, Georgia equals 85, and I know the freeway that runs right by there is Interstate 85. Yeah, Atlanta, Georgia, 85. So that would be a great record for them to start with. Plus Georgia's 62. They could be 6-2 at home. I know that. That would also make the Mets 8-5. So both teams would be 8-5. And both teams would be 6-2 in Georgia. Let's see what else is here. Atlanta, Braves. Braves. Don't get the numbers there. Let's check this out. Zach Wheeler. 86. Wheeler. Sean Newcomb. Let's see. $33 and $31. Check that Gematria Braves again. Sean Newcomb. Well, the only concern here is I see this guy could get his 19th loss on the 19 date numerology. I'm still thinking that 8-5 and 6-2 is more symbolic, the location. Let me see what the stadium is. Trust. No. Let's see how it lines up with the birthdays here. May 30th. So 317, the 66th prime, means his upcoming birthday is in 48 days. Atlanta's 48. This is Zach Wheeler, who's going for New York. Make sure I missed something with the name. All right, let's check out Sean Newcomb. Or no, Sean Newcomb, dirty at birth. June 12th. 304. So his upcoming birthday is in 61 days. 18th prime baseball number. He was at 18 losses, right? So there's a chance he could stay on 18, 61 days from his birthday. Yeah, so the scare here is that Newcomb could pick up his 19th loss on the 19 date. But man, that 85, I know that's a big number with Atlanta. It's like after they were in the Super Bowl, do you remember how Interstate 85 burned down and it was synced up with the Super Bowl and they blamed it on a crackhead? Dumbest story ever. That giant square section of the freeway burned out. But 62 and 85 are both relevant numbers. So I'm thinking that's probably the best riddle there. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm still going to lean on the Braves, but just the one concern is that pitcher's record. So Athletics and Rangers. Okay. If Oakland won, notice they'd have that 10-8 record, 10-8, kind of like 108, like Major League, 108 double stitches. Rangers would also fall to 6-7, kind of like 67, the 19th prime on the 19 date. So that's the first thing on the surface. Let's see if there's Texas Rangers. 3-4. So if they won, they'd be 4-4 away against the Rangers. They'd get to 4-4. That's something. And then Athletics are 3-4 away right now. The Rangers are 4-2. So Athletics has the 43 Gematria as well. The Rangers could become 4-3 at home. Athletics. Oakland. Well, on the surface, definitely looks better for the A's here, but you can make sense of the records both ways. Well, okay, one thing to consider, though, Texas Rangers is 52, so they could become 5-2 at home. That is another thought. That's one other thing to consider there. Okay, let's check out the pitchers. Mike Fears. Fears. What's another one? It's a weird name, Smiley. Okay. Nothing standing out. Drew Smiley. I see this 99. Now that's interesting because if the Athletics lost, they would be 9-9. facing Drew Smiley. All right, let's check out the stats. So Mike Fears is 56 and 56. Next win 57. We talked about how today is the day leaving 263 days left in the year, the 56 prime. Unfortunately for him, it could go either way. Hold on. His record so far this year is 2-1, so he's either going to become 2-2 or 3-1. Well, could get a no decision. Mike Fears, how about Drew Smiley? $31 and 28. Doesn't go with our date. Let's check the birthdays here. June 13th. Huh. So 303 days after his birthday, or a span of 304. What is it? Is it athletics? Athletics is 34. That means it's 62 days to his upcoming birthday. June 15th. Their birthdays are right next to each other. Oops. 301 days, 43 weeks, 43. So it's tough because, again, Rangers is 44, Athletics is 43. So you could make sense of it there. If they did lose, they'd become 6 and 7, kind of like 67 on the 19 date. But we saw that the starting pitcher for the Rangers, his name Drew Smiley, equals 99. The Athletics could also fall to 9 and 9. So I'd probably shy away from this game. To me, that's just a little bit too back and forth. And we also saw that Texas Rangers equaled 52. They could become 5 and 2 at home as well. So I'm not comfortable with that game. Indians and Royals. Let's see here. Kansas City. The Royals are on this 10-game losing streak, the worst in the league. You know what's interesting is if they lost two more, they'd be 2 and 12 to start the season. Kansas City Royals 2-1-2. Remember the year they went to the World Series? They played the Toronto Blue Jays, who were also 2-1-2. That was the American League Championship Series. Okay, so Kansas City Royals. Maybe they will lose 2 more in a row. Let's see. Royals. Kansas City. Can their record make sense off this? If the Royals lost tonight, they'd be 2-11, kind of like 211, the 47th prime, Indians 47. Let's see here. Cleveland Indians does have Gematria of 94. With a win tonight, they would be 9-4. Also has Gematria of 95, but that would mess up the 2-1-2 riddle. Let's see what the pitchers' names are. Carrasco. Carlos Carrasco. Killer. Indians could become 4-3 away off Brad Keller if they got the win. We did see Cleveland Indians 94. Stadium name. Stadium. Let's see the stats here. Carrasco's 80-63 for his career. These numbers don't exactly go with tonight, I don't believe. And Brad Keller. (10-7). So with a loss, he'd be 10-8, that magical major league number. Just because we're getting close to some of the morning games, I'm just going to pause just in case people got here late. The Angels-Cubs game, which starts in about 1 hour, we noticed that Hamels is 58 and so is Angels. So I'm leaning towards the Cubs improving to 5-8 with a win today. That would also make Angels 7-7. Chicago's known for being divided into 77 neighborhood areas, but I'm thinking becoming 5-8 makes some sense. And then in the White Sox game, it was a 39 show. You know, New York's 39. Or, well, that game starts in a bit. I guess the only early game is this Cubs-Angels game. But the number that was really jumping in this one was the 58. And we also note that Los Angeles Angels is 59. So we're going to do a decode tomorrow. But Cubs could win today and lose tomorrow, very possibly. But yeah, this game was a 39 show. So we'll go back and review everything. I just wanted to make sure people knew what we said for the first game before it gets too close. Okay, coming back to this Indians-Royals game. Again, Kansas City Royals 2-1-2. I'm wondering if they could start out 2-12. And you know what? I got to look at the Royals' schedule real quick. The year that the Royals won, it was synced up with Charles, Prince of Wales, if I remember right. Yeah, he was 66 years old that year, and but Charles, Prince of Wales, is 2-1-2 as well. I just want to see the Royals' schedule in light of the Queen, because she's coming up on her 93rd birthday, and the Royals renamed their stadium in 93. Her birthday is April 21st. They're going to be playing the Yankees, last game of the series on that day. Yankees is 26 like Queen. We might be able to figure out some deeper Royals riddles here. Yeah, they still got a number of games before then. Okay. But yeah, we saw Royals could be 2-11, which is like 211, the 47th prime. Ohio's 47. Indians is 47. We saw Cleveland Indians is 94. I don't think I finished looking at the stats here, though. Brad Keller can be 10-7 or 11-8. Again, Major League's 108, and I always think of that with regards to Cleveland, since the movie Major League's about the Cleveland Indians. I'm thinking Indians got good numbers for tonight. Maybe we didn't measure from the date of birth. March 21st. Wait, wrong year. 22 days after Carrasco's birthday. July 27th, 27759. Six days to the upcoming from the last. 37 weeks. Yeah, just the fact that Cleveland Indians is 94, 2-11 makes sense. Very possible on the way to 2-12. Yeah, I got to favor the Indians there. So it's kind of an interesting line, though. I mean, Royals are at home. Yeah, they're on a 10-game losing streak, but just based on the fact that Carrasco hasn't pitched so well. Let's see. Actually, I want to go back and look at Carrasco's stats and see what happened here. I mean, it's early in the year, so the numbers can look funky. So for his career, he's solid. Can I see his game log? Here we go. So he pitched well in the last game, it looks like. Yeah, his first game was bad. He pitched bad on the road in a stadium. Okay. I guess that's another thing. I mean, we could get real technical. Caller yesterday asked if we could just go deep on a few games. And I'll tell you what, we'll go deep. I mean, it really is good to go deep. Maybe I'll do okay, you know what? Today I'm going to put up a poll after we're done today. And I'm going to say, would you rather see me go really deep on a handful of games or cover, the day's games the way we do? So it might be a quality versus quantity thing. But just as I say that, we go really deep on every NFL game. And sometimes, when you go real deep, sometimes you overanalyze. So I kind of like doing it the way we are now, but maybe for the whole season, we can do it the way we're doing and go extra deep on like the Mariners games. But going deeper would just be doing like looking at all the situational stats, a pitcher's career record against a team, which is probably actually a really good thing to look at. But let me see. I think it would be here. I want to see. Looking at it, that probably is something we should look up, though. I got to figure out where that stat's at. A pitcher's career stats, career record versus certain team. It's got to be somewhere. This could be it right here. Okay. So against the Kansas City Royals, 24 games. Why do I not have wins and losses here? What's up, caller? Can you mute your video?
Yeah.
You're on.
I'm muted. Yeah, I'm muted.
Yeah, you're on. What's up, man?
All right. So I wanted to call in real quick about the Masters with Tiger Woods. So I see two articles. Maybe I'm just overthinking it, but one from the Daily Express, one from PGA Tour, both saying that he had a magical first round, which I thought was interesting because he did okay, right? But he didn't. He's tied for 14th right now, so I wouldn't say that he had a magical first round. He just did okay.
That's a key number, though. That's a key number. It's been 14 years since he won it. He came in with the 14-1 odds. He's 43 years old, the 14th prime number.
Exactly, and he shot 70 the last 3 times he won the Masters as well. So that's another.
Is that what he shot yesterday? 70?
Yeah, that's it. I just thought, like those two magical, like that, those keywords for the articles, magical. I thought was very interesting, just because, like I said, he did okay, but I wouldn't say that he was extraordinary last night, or yesterday.
The word magic itself equals 102, and it began 102 days after his birthday. So I'm thinking about that in terms of that word use. Magical. Okay. Okay, go ahead. What else?
I mean, that's it. I hope he hangs on because that would be a really nice payout. I have like 5,000 on this, so shit, That's
a big bet, man. That's a big bet. Well, I definitely hope he wins for you.
But I didn't even have to bet that much. I bet like $300, so it will pay out 5K. Because, like you said, golf odds are so high because there's so many people golfing.
Right.
But yeah, thank you so much though for all this Gematria stuff. I've been getting into it because I've been betting for the last year. But like, this has just changed the way that I look at it.
Did you put any smaller bets down on some of the other guys we were thinking about?
Yeah. I went on Rory and then the other guy too. I forgot his name.
Brooks.
The one, I think he's winning right now. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, because I think I'll be surprised if it's not one of these 4 guys we're looking at. I really like Tiger, and then my insurance picks are Rory, Brooks, and the defending champion, just in case. So.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, man.
Sure. All right. Well, thank you so much, man. Have a good day.
All right. Take care, dude. Appreciate it.
You too.
For those of you who weren't here at the beginning of the Decode, the young guy who was off to the start, I think his name's like DeChambeau or something like that. We saw that his last name equaled 207, and the Masters started 207 days after his birthday. I'd never heard of that guy before, but he did have a little bit of an interesting alignment with the start of the tournament. And then that means that the championship day, the Sunday, is 210 days after his birthday, or his 211th day of his age, the 47th prime. So I don't know. He might be worth keeping an eye on. It's late now. You wouldn't want to bet on him while he's the favorite. Wouldn't pay much, but just what we observed this morning. Okay, but yeah, I'm digging the Indians here. Padres and Diamondbacks. Oh, the Diamondbacks scorned me yesterday. All right, now I know San Diego's 43. So today the Diamondbacks could get it back and improve to 4-3 at home. So that's one thought. Let me see if there's some connection to 77 here. Padres, Diamondbacks, Arizona Diamondbacks. Okay, I'm not seeing that. Wait a minute. Diamondbacks, though, is 9. Okay, Diamondbacks is 96. So if the Padres lost today, they would be 9-6. They would be 4-3 against San Diego. So we have records that make sense with the Diamondbacks win. 9-6 Diamondbacks, 4-3 San Diego. All right, so that's our thought right now. We'll see. Paddock. He's pitching well this year. No decision yet. I don't see his numbers in the record. Chris Paddock. Got 74 like San Diego. They're already 5-2. Okay, Luke Weaver. So you got Weaver. He's got the 74 like San Diego. Weaver. 22 like Arizona. The only thing that scares me about Weaver is his name equals 34. They could become 3-4 at home. But again, I don't think that connects to the opponent. Okay. Let's see the stats here. So this must be a young guy. Doesn't have much stats. But he's off to a great start. He's pitching well. Okay. Luke Weaver. Weaver's here. (15 and 17). If he got his 16th win, he'd make the Padres 5-3 away, kind of like 53, the 16th prime. Let's see if we can get the birthdays here. January 8th. So his birthday was 94 days ago. Today's the 102nd day of the year. Born in 96. Again, Diamondbacks 96. They're trying to make Padres 9-6. August 21st. 33 weeks and 3 days. Interesting that he's pitching 33 weeks and 3 days after his birthday, because isn't Arizona Diamondbacks 333? Look at that. Huh. Okay. San Diego's, the line's 117, and Arizona Diamondbacks is 117 as well. That's interesting. San Diego Padres, 241, the 53rd prime. That guy going for his 16th win, 53, the 16th prime. They could start 5-3 away. Again, Diamondbacks is 96. The only scare to me is that Weaver equals 34, and they could become 3-4 at home. But at the same time, San Diego's 43. I'm a little bit shy on this game, but I do think the Diamondbacks have the better riddle. Again, Diamondbacks 96. We see how the Padres have their relationship with 53. So let me check Chase Field real quick. Chase Field. Nothing really screaming out there about this game. So yeah, I'd lean Diamondbacks. All right, we have the National League Championship Series going on here. Dodgers Brewers went to Game 7. Okay. 3-game series. 3-game series. You guys see the death of the Green Bay Packer today? Former Green Bay Packer dead at 85. Green Bay, Wisconsin 85. National Football League 85. is Los Angeles is 53, and Wisconsin. Well, they're not the Wisconsin Brewers, they're the Milwaukee. Oh, Milwaukee's 53 too. Los Angeles and Milwaukee are both 53. Los Angeles 53, Milwaukee 53. So if Brewers got a win today, they would make the Dodgers 5-3 at home. Let's see what else is going here. Brewers. Hold on, Brewers. Let's check it out. If we can find one more overlap, this could be a nice upset here. Dodgers. Los Angeles Dodgers. All right. Well, so far the only thing really screaming out is that 5-3 at home. Trying to miss anything. It's hard to imagine the Dodgers losing 3 in a row. This is a 3-game series. It's hard to imagine that. But if they did, Los Angeles is also 89, and so is Milwaukee. That is interesting. Los Angeles also 55. Wisconsin's 55. They'd be 5-5 at home. Los Angeles Dodgers is also 89. Okay, so that's just something to think about. It doesn't sound likely, doesn't mean it couldn't happen. Burns. Corbin Burns. Julio Urias. Nothing screaming out about the pitchers' names. Let's see here. All right, let's check out their stats. What did I do? He is 7-1. Now I thought I saw something with 72 here. Dodgers is 72. So if he lost, he could be 7-2 against the Dodgers. So that's something to consider. But I do think at this point in the season that it has more to do with the teams and the cities that they're playing than the pitchers. It's nice when you can get the pitcher to overlap with what you're already looking at. Julio, okay. He's 5-4. If he lost, he'd be 5-5. Los Angeles is 55. Milwaukee's 55. Today has the 55 date numerology as well. That's the other thing. Today has 55 date. So you can make sense of the pitchers either way. Yeah, birthdays lineup here. Got the start date of the World Series. That, you know what? That's actually really interesting. Just because, again, the World Series starts on October 22nd. That's Ichiro's birthday. The Milwaukee Brewers used to be the Seattle Pilots. Again, they began their season 8-2. Be something if the World Series was Brewers and Mariners. Corbin Burns is going to have to play better than he is so far. Anyway, October 22nd to today, which is 173rd day of his age, or 172 days after the birthday. August 12th. 243 days, so it's 122 to his upcoming birthday. Well, the pitcher stats could go either way, but again, the number that's really screaming out to me is this 53. I was hoping I would see something else with the overall record, but just the 5-3 at home makes some sense because Milwaukee's 53 and Los Angeles is 53. You know what? Let me check something here. Let me check. I want to see what day the National League Championship Series ended. I want to see how many days it is from that. October 20th. So I want to check. $174 days. 5 months and 23 days. The 523 is kind of like 523, the 99th prime, and Brewers is 99. I don't think Dodgers has that connection. Oh, Brewers is also 81, and that pitcher for the Brewers could become 8-1. We saw he could also become 7-2, so you could make an argument out of that either way, actually. But yeah, I'm going to ride the Brewers here. Just the 53 is the number that's screaming out at me. Milwaukee and Los Angeles have overlap with that. So Brewers 51st season. Ichiro number 51. Erner started out 5-1 at home and 5-1 away. Remember, Brewers were 1 game away from the World Series last year. So anyway, I got to roll with the Brewers tonight. Okay, Mariners and Astros. Now, today has the 19-date numerology again. Seattle's the only city in the league that equals 19. If the Mariners won today, they'd be 14-2. The 14th win is what would stand out because it's the Mariners' 43rd season. Mariners equals 43, 14th prime. And Astros equals 43. So it doesn't necessarily have to come tonight, but there'd be some big symbolism in doing it on this 19th or this 19-date numerology. So just from the start of this decode, I'm favoring the Mariners because of this 43-14 riddle. That would also make the Astros 2-6 away in the 206 area code, which is Seattle. The one thing I could say about the Mariners is if you use the rule for S, Mariners is 52. Did Astros have that connection? Astros don't have the 52 connection. But 6-1 is also always interesting in baseball because 61 is the 18th prime, baseball 18. How many games is this series here? And again, we talked about how the Mariners are they're playing all the Mariners season so far. You know, they opened it up with the Athletics. Where's it at? They had such a weird schedule. So these were the official games. Then they went back to spring training. Then they opened it up at home against the defending champions, and they played the division team, the Angels. Oh, that was just a 2-game series too. Yeah, these 2-game series are weird. Okay, then they played the White Sox, but then they've played all these World Series teams. Royals, again, Royals, Red Sox, Astros, and then they got the Indians next. Those are the last 4 teams to represent in the American League in the World Series. So I think it's really interesting that they're playing all these teams so early in the year. Okay. But 14's the number that's really screaming out at me tonight. Let's see what's up with these pitchers. Wade Miley. How many games do we have left, by the way? Okay, just a few more. So 72 and 77. Those numbers don't connect to anything as far as I know. Mariners. Houston. Houston has the 77 connection. Astros. But none of that has to happen today. All right, so that's Wade Miley, and then we want Wade LeBlanc. So if Wade LeBlanc got his 42nd win today, the thing about that is Washington's the 42nd state. When you write out 42 as a word, it does equal 142. So there is a little rhyme and reason to that. Let's see how the birthdays line up here. November 13th. 150 days or a span of 151. That means that is no, I'm doing funny math. 215 days to his upcoming birthday. Wade LeBlanc. Is it Wade and Wade? I guess that's a clue right there, maybe. Wade versus Wade. These numbers connect in any way? Wade. I don't see how that fits in, though. All right. Wade LeBlanc. August 7th. 35 weeks and 3 days. So it's 117 to his upcoming birthday. Houston, 100. Something I've been forgetting to do is look at the head-to-head for all these games. Seattle Mariners. $124th game. Mariners going for their 54th win. Symbolic number, big baseball number. $21 and 38 at home. Now Wade did equal 39. Make sure there's something I'm not missing here. Seattle. Washington. Seattle, Washington's 139. Where the line's at. I'm thinking because today has the 19 date numerology. Again, Seattle's 19, and just the fact that they could get that 14th win, which is symbolic, thinking today's a good day to do it. So I didn't see a lot of other big clues for what the record could be ahead. How many games is this series here? 3-game series. Ends on April 14th. Okay, 3757 numerology. The biggest scare tonight about the Mariners is just becoming 5-2 because Mariners does have the 52 connection. But again, we also saw how this Wade was going for his 42nd win, and 42 has the relationship with 142. So the other thing is T-Mobile Park, again, they changed their name this year. Is that gematria of 67, the 19th prime? I'm just thinking the 19s are going to be a big number for Seattle this year. So this would be a big win for them. Just keep the momentum going. You know, one of the better teams in the AL, one of the favorites. I'm going to ride the Mariners wave tonight. But there's no super strong clues for the game other than possibly Wade LeBlanc going for the 42nd win with the possible 142 relationship. Okay. Rockies and Giants. Let's see. San Francisco's 100. You see the 133. Colorado's a 133. San Francisco. Giants. 102nd day of the year. The Giants did win yesterday on 11-4 day. Not the only thing we could see in that game. San Francisco Giants. The Giants lost today. They would be 3-5 at home. So they're either going to be 3-5 or 4-4. Rockies. The Rockies has the 35-44 connection. That makes that tough. It's 35 in the more pure cipher, but it could go either way. Colorado Rockies. Wait a minute. Did I see a 64 connection? Go back and see that. So Rockies does have this 64 connection. If they lost, they'd be 3-11. 311 is the 64th prime. So that's something to consider. San Francisco Giants. All right, the pitchers' names. Hold on, I'm not sure. I just want to go back real quick and look at the Astros-Mariners games. I'm not sure I ran the gematria of. Oh, wait, it's LeBlanc, not LeBlanc. LeBlanc. In case there was something I missed. Miley 26, and Astros could become 2-6 away. His names also have gematria 28 and 44 like Seattle. Seattle's the 206. Okay. Bettis. Chad Bettis. Pomeranz. Pomeranz. 336. Rockies could become 3-6 away against Pomeranz. He's got numbers like Major League. Drew Pomeranz. 68. All right, Chad Bettis. (30-27). So today has the 28 date numerology. Bettis could get his 28th career loss on the 28 date. That stands out. I'm starting to favor the Giants here because you got the 311 thing, the 64th prime, Rockies 64, Pomeranz 36, make them 3-6 and away. The 35 or 44 could go either way with the Rockies, so that's a wash. Who was our other pitcher? Pomeranz. (44 and 49). Let's see. Chad Bettis, April 26th. So games, if it's 14 days from his birthday, that means it's 351 days after his birthday, which is the 26th triangular. There wasn't any 26s on the boards. Pomeranz. Wait, was it Chad Pomeranz? Wait. Drew Pomeranz. What's up, caller?
I love when you mangle names. They're so fun.
Say that again. What'd you say?
I love when you mangle names. It's not your expertise.
Oh, yeah, definitely not.
DeChambeau is his name.
Oh, the golfer. There we go.
Actually, he won he's a very baseline player. He won the NCAA and the U.S. Amateur in the same year, which has only been done by a few people.
Okay.
Tiger, Phil, I think Ryan Moore, and somebody else. So it's not that shocking. The guy's won a bunch of events, so he's not that crazy to be up there.
Okay, that's good to know.
I think you should do have me on before all the golf events and bring all your specials in before the NBA playoffs, the NHL, because the golf stuff I know backwards and forwards. So.
All right, I'm gonna save your phone number as golf expert.
No, I mean just the golf stuff to me is. Have you proven for sure that they're fixing the golf stuff too, or you don't know?
Well, okay. So what we've talked about over the years is there's always really weird rituals when they do these hole-in-ones on the day before thing on the par threes. So it seems like there's some technology in play there, and there seems to be some magical syncs usually with these champions. The typical numbers, so the names lining up and all that.
I know they rate. Everything else is rigged, so it's not surprising to me. Like, talk to a normal person about stuff all being rigged. They're looking at you like you're from another planet, But we already know they rig everything: stock market, the commodities, news, everything. So rigging sports. I don't see how I can see certainly that it's good rig golf. It just doesn't seem as easy, but it's certainly, Have you seen it come out though? Are you just new to doing golf?
Well, we've been looking at golf for years, so we've always tracked the way things line up, and it's like last year the Tiger and Phil Mickelson thing. I'd have to go back and look at what it was, but the numbers were perfect.
I texted you. There was a screenshot. They played in a charity head-to-head match.
Right.
Around Thanksgiving, and they went 22 holes.
And I think it was exactly 22 weeks from Mickelson's birthday or something like that. There was something that gave us the clue that it looked good for Mickelson before it played.
And it went 22
22 holes, by the way.
It was something like that, yeah. So,
all right, so yeah, I'm just I've bought money on some different people. It's funny, this is that guy calling him for like $300 on Tiger to win. I don't think he's won every time he won shooting 70, but his first Masters for sure, he shot 70 in the first round.
And that was 22 years ago.
Right, and he wound up shooting 40-30 that day. 40 on the front nine, 30 in the back nine. He wound up winning going away. That was his first major, going all the way back.
Okay.
So I know 70 is a big number. He's done well when he shot 70. I don't know if he's made all his Masters he's once shot 70, but it's definitely been when I saw that. And of course, guess what place he was in after the first day?
He was in 14th, so we know that.
He was in 11th place.
Oh, the caller earlier said that he was.
No, he's fallen back to 14th during today because he hasn't played.
Okay, but 11, the master number. So
he was tied for 11th, like going into today.
Yeah, that's the master number.
And he shot 70, which to me was a good sign because it's never been his thing to come out the first round, and it went back to 22 years ago. So I wasn't like, I waited on Rory. I waited till today at that.
Okay.
And he played poorly the first day.
Okay.
So I got way better odds waiting.
Good. Smart move.
But what happened was Koepka made a double bogey in the second hole and immediately dropped him back, and then I placed my bet. I was like, okay, now, because you don't want the leaders to be too far ahead.
Right. Exactly.
If they get too far ahead, they're going to be like, how are they going to catch up? So without Tiger and Rory are not on the course yet today, they're both better off than they're kind of closer than they were. Like, they haven't lost any ground, so it's actually a good thing. But, all right, I'll let you get back to your
okay. I typed in the word 70. I just wanted to look at the gematria of it. Interestingly enough, with the alphabetic order, it sums to 110, which is 11 with a 0 at the end. And then in the Peer cipher, it's 29, which breaks down to 11. And then when you flip it around, it equals 79, which is the 22nd prime, like how it was 22 years ago. And you said he started with a 70.
Right, 70's been a big number for his first round, though, for sure. I don't know if he won every one of them, but they did mention on the news today. They showed when he shot 70 what he's done. And I looked at that, I go, oh, that's interesting. Not even thinking to look what you just did. So there may be something there. I mean, it's just kind of like, he's not losing ground. He's right there, and he's, him and Rory could shoot a 66 today easily.
Sure. Yeah. A lot can happen between the first day and the last day.
And they say the Masters going to start to go back on Sunday. So
there we go.
All right, man.
Great work. Appreciate it. And speaking of the whole 14 thing, the Masters also ends on the 14th this year, right? For one more 14. Tiger, 43 years old, the 14th prime. Okay, but this Rockies game, it's hold on. I would think I was checking the I think I was checking the distance on the birthdays here. Get back on track to what I was thinking about. 141, relationship with 33. And I don't remember if we looked at Chad Bettis's birthday. April 26th, I think we did, but I forget what it was. Oh, yeah, 14 days. That means it's 351 days from his last birthday. Major League Baseball, 351. We saw that Bettis could get his 28th career loss on this date with 28 numerology. So I think the riddles are a little bit better in favor of the Giants here. A little bit better riddles. We did see that Rockies is 35 and 44. That's the one thing that could go either way. But Rockies also 64, 311, the 64th prime. So I got to give the edge to the Giants, especially seeing that the Rockies pitcher could get his 28th loss on the 28th date. And here comes the Tigers into the Twins series with an 8-5 record. Again, Twins does equal 85. The caller yesterday pointed that out. Great observation. Let's see. The Twins got to 7-4. Tigers have that 33 connection. Detroit's 44. Detroit could fall to 4-4 away. Detroit Tigers. Tigers. Twins. Minnesota. Twins. I'm seeing this overlap with 84. I'm wondering if the Twins could get to 8-4 because both teams have the connection to 84. Also, there's a relationship with 44 and 84. The divisors of 44 sum to 84. So maybe the Twins can win 2 in a row here. Minnesota Twins 84. It's the 102nd day of the year today. Tigers 84. So I'm kind of digging the Twins to win 2 in a row. We'll know if that's possible. Oh, postponed. Damn it. Never mind. Postponed. Don't the Twins play inside? Do they not play inside anymore? Did they get rid of their stadium? They must have. Shoot, that's too bad. Okay. All right, so the Angels-Cubs game. Again, what we saw was Hamels is 58, Angels is 58. So I'm thinking getting to 5 and 8 makes some sense. The White Sox are in New York. New York's the land of 39. New York is also 33. That's the one riddle for the White Sox, becoming 3-3 away. But we saw that the pitcher's name's 39. New York's 39. It's his 39th week of his age. If the Yankees win, they'd be 6-7 on the 19-date numerology. So I think the Yankees are good to go. Pirates and Nationals was too dicey because they have the exact same record. The riddles could go either way. Couldn't get a great read there. Toronto Blue Jays, 59. They can become 5-9 today with a win. And there's 14s all over the place. If you write out 14 as a word, it equals 104. The Tampa Bay Rays could fall to 10-4. So I'm liking the Blue Jays. Orioles and Red Sox. We're wondering if the Red Sox can sweep the Orioles because Baltimore Orioles equals 89. It's a 4-game series. If the Red Sox won 4 in a row, they would be 8-9. The line was 260. Boston, Massachusetts is 262. Boston, Massachusetts is 260. I said that kind of fast, so didn't want you to think I said something else. There was something else about this game, too, that slipped in my mind, but maybe it was the pitcher, David Hess. Oh, yeah, we saw that David Hess could become 4-12 on the date 4/12. And the one thing he had going was 5 and 11 prime numbers, but there was something else, too. Anyhow, I know we were favoring the Red Sox in this game with the possibility of them having the chance to sweep. Phillies and Marlins. What was it about this game? I know we were favoring the Phillies. Philadelphia's 101, the 26th prime. Marlins could become 2-6. This pitcher's name, Alcantara, is also 26. So, and there's another thing about Alcantara. If I overlooked this earlier, but notice if the Marlins lost, they'd be 3-11, like 311, the 64th prime. Alcantara 64. So, favoring the Phillies there. Mets and Braves. The pitcher riddle could go either way. So the pitchers make it dicey. But Atlanta, Georgia equals 85. Both teams could be 8-5. Georgia equals 62. Both teams could be 6-2 with the home and away record. So I'm favoring the Braves here. I think the 85 is going to come through. Atlanta's right off the Interstate 85. Seen that number a lot with Atlanta's history of sports just decoding over the years. So I'm going to ride the 85 for that game. Athletics and Rangers. This game was dicey. We had riddles going both ways here. I'm not crazy about this game. If I had to pick, and I don't think I would, I think I'd lay off this game, but if I had to pick, I would take the Athletics just because the Rangers have the possibility of becoming 6-7, kind of like 67 on the 19 date numerology. But this is a game I'd probably shy away from. We saw that the pitcher for the Rangers, Smiley, has the 99 connection. Athletics could become 9-9. Rangers equals 35 and 44, if I remember right here. Or no, Rangers is just 44. What was it? So, okay, the 4 and 4 could make out. The Athletics have the 43 connection. The Rangers could become 4 and 3 at home. But, oh, I know what it is. Texas Rangers is 52, and they could become 5 and 2 at home as well. So I'm not crazy about this game. But if I had to pick, I'd give a slight edge to the A's. So Indians and Royals. If the Royals lose tonight, they're 2-11, kind of like 211, the 47th prime. Indians equals 47, so does Ohio, where they're from. Cleveland Indians equals 94. And Indians also has the gematria of 34 and 43, so that could go either way with the Indians record. But Kansas City Royals has the gematria of 212. If they lose 2 in a row, they'll be 2-12, which is very possible. I think they do lose tonight, and then we'll evaluate tomorrow. But a chance they lose 2 in a row. Padres and Diamondbacks. The big scare here is that Weaver equals 34. Diamondbacks could become 3 and 4 at home. But despite that, I'm favoring the Diamondbacks to win this because Diamondbacks equals 96. San Diego equals 43. So not a game that I'm crazy about, but just the fact that the Padres can become 9 and 6 against the Diamondbacks, I think that's likely. And we also saw that the starting pitcher Luke Weaver, he's pitching 33 weeks and 3 days after his birthday. We'll see if that's a good thing or not, but it does sync up with the team. So give a slight edge to the Diamondbacks there. In San Diego, 43, Diamondbacks, 96. Brewers and Dodgers, I think the Brewers have a good shot to upset the Dodgers tonight. Los Angeles equals 53, so does Milwaukee. They could be 5 and 3 at home with a loss. If Brewers do win tonight, we're going to have to consider the possibility that they even sweep the series in Los Angeles. I mean, that'd be a tough thing to do, but if they did, the Dodgers would be 8 and 9, and Milwaukee and Los Angeles both equal 89. I think Los Angeles Dodgers is also 89. Okay, so we got a double connection to 89. But I do like the Brewers tonight because of the 53 overlap. Astros and Mariners. Astros equals 43. Mariners equals 43. It's the Mariners' 43rd season. Get a big win tonight. They could get their 14th win, 43, the 14th prime. We saw Wade LeBlanc was going for his 42nd win. Washington's the 42nd state. When you write out 42 as a word, it equals 142. Kind of like what the Mariners record could be, 14 and 2. Today has the 19 date numerology, Seattle 19. Been a big number for them. It's the reason that they have the best record in baseball, no doubt about it. If the Astros lost, they'd be 2 and 6 away. Seattle's the 206 area code. Their starting pitcher, Miley. We got the Battle of the Wades tonight, but Miley has that gematria of 26. So, favoring the Mariners there. We saw that Rockies has that connection to 64. 3-11. Again, 311, the 64th prime. Pomeranz, the pitcher for the Giants, has the 36 connection. Could make the Rockies 3-6 away. Rockies does equal 35 and 44. That's the one riddle they could go against the Giants. If they lost, they'd be 3-5 at home, but if they won, they'd be 4-4. And again, if the Rockies were 3-11, that would make some sense. So I'm favoring the Giants here. So again, teams I got the edge for tonight: Giants, Mariners, Brewers, Diamondbacks, but I'm not crazy about that one. Indians, not crazy about the Athletics, Rangers at all, but I'd give the edge to the A's ever so slightly. Braves, Phillies, Red Sox, Blue Jays, Nationals, Pirates is just, I don't have an opinion for that game. Yankees, Cubbies. So I'm thinking for the MLB. For the NHL, again, these series are tough. We got it right yesterday. Yesterday we had the one road team pick correctly. I said I think that'll be the only road team that wins tonight. Blues and the Jets. Let's see. I really don't like playoff series picking games. I'm not crazy about it just because there's just so much leeway. I do want to let you guys know that a guy reached out to me last night, and he made a bet on the Blue Jackets to win the Stanley Cup. And he said last year he picked the Washington Capitals early in the season. And I'll just tell you what he told me last night. It's this right here, that Columbus Blue Jackets equals 118. If you put in their coach's name, the coach's name also equals 118. He just said that what he likes to do is just follow the patterns with the champions he sees. So like the Patriots equal 118, Virginia Cavaliers 118. So he likes to find a number that's hitting for the championships and write it. If the Blue Jackets get past the Lightning, my eyes are really gonna light up to what he said. I mean, they're a real long shot right now. They'd be an awesome payout. But again, it's the Lightning's 26th season. They have one of the more interesting riddles because it's the 101st Stanley Cup, the 26th prime, and those numbers are like peas in a pod. But Toronto's going to have to get past the Lightning as well. Lightning are in the same conference. So something to keep in mind about today is it's the 102nd day of the year, and this is the 102nd Stanley Cup season. So it's the 102nd season. It'll be the 101st Stanley Cup because they had a lockout year. So we know the Islanders have the 101 connection. I don't believe anybody's going for let me find this post real quick. I should have had this up already. So let's just scan the playoffs. Remember, these aren't updated. I need to go through in here and update this, but these are the playoff team records before the any playoff games were played. So I'm gonna have to go through and I will update this. I'll update this and put it in the description what the current playoff records were, and I'll keep it up to date. But I'm just scanning real quick to see if anybody could be going for a win or loss that corresponds with the date numerology. So hold on. Okay, so Blue Jackets and Lightning. Let me close some windows here. Our date numerology again is 55, 28, 19. 56 could matter today too because it's the day leaving 263 days, the 56th prime. Tampa Bay doesn't jive with that. Columbus would be going for their 49th win of the season. Penguins and Islanders. Islanders won that first game. Nothing there with the... Well, the Islanders, what they could do today, the Islanders have a shot at their 28th loss today on a 28-date numerology. And interesting that Penguins are the favorite. So there's something with the date numerology. The Islanders could get their 28th loss of the season on a 28 date. They won the first game. So there's a real shot the Islanders could lose here. Something to consider. Blues are at 28 losses. They won the first game. We got that upset right. So the Blues could potentially stay on 28 losses today. It's always hard, though, when you're already on the number. Blues would be going for their 166th playoff win today. Jets are now going for their 18th playoff loss. Golden Knights and Sharks. Sharks are at 47 wins on the season. Well, the Sharks could pick up their 28th loss today. The Sharks have a shot at the 28th loss on the 28th date. So we have two teams with a shot at the 28th loss on the 28th date. That's important. Both of those games would be road teams winning. And let's do the series records here real quick. It's the Tampa Bay Lightning for the playoffs. Oh and 1, 12-5 at home. Hold on, let me check something real quick. Tampa Bay has that 56 connection, like today's date has the 56 connection. 55. So 20, 11 and 1, 12 and 5. Oh. All right, let's check out other series here. New York Islanders, Penguins, playoffs 14-12. And they are at home tonight, right? Yeah. So at home, 73. So the Islanders are on 56 home losses. And again, today's date does have that 56 connection. So that makes that a little bit more dicey. They could get their 28th loss of the season on the 28 date, or they could stay on 56. I'm thinking the teams with the 101 connections are going to be the teams to advance past this first round where that's possible. The Islanders are one of those teams. Today's games we really should keep an eye on, though, in light of it being the 102nd season. So could be some big clue in today's game. '27th game. All right, let's check out the Blues and Jets real quick. Oh. Jets are at home. Oh and 1, so first ever playoff series. 9-13 at home. For the season one more time. So Blues would be going for their 47th win today. They're at 28 losses. If they won, they'd stay on the 28 losses. All right. Put the Golden Knights and Sharks too here. Six and 9 all time. 4-4 at home. 3-4 in the playoffs. Again, we saw that the Sharks could pick up their 28th loss today on the 28 date. Golden Knights 64. Sharks 11. The Sharks' next playoff win will be their 111th. Doesn't have to come today. Yeah, I just wonder if that the date numerology is going to come through for the overall record again. We've seen that in a couple games. So again, the two teams that are potentially looking at their 28th losses on this 28 date are the Sharks and the Penguins. The Penguins picked up a loss in the first game of the playoffs. So to add to their regular season loss total, they could get their 28th loss. Or hold on. Oh, shoot. I was like, wait a minute, that's not what I was saying a second ago. So either one of these teams could get the 28th loss. The Penguins could get their 28th total loss, so could the Islanders. Okay, I'm glad I caught that. And then what were we saying about the head-to-head for the Islanders and Penguins? One more time. There was something about that. Oops. That's what it was. So they could stay on 56 losses. This is the Islanders could stay on 56 losses against the Penguins on this date that has the 56 connection through the prime numbers. Interesting that Pittsburgh's the favorite. So the 28 could go either way in this one. Makes it a little bit dicey, but if the Islanders stayed on 56 losses, that would go with the date. Let me see if their name equals. Islanders also has that connection to 56 as well. So again, series are always tough because, I mean, there's so much leeway. But the one team the only game where there's a 28 only going one way is right here. The Sharks could get their 28th loss of the season. So if they didn't lose, they'd stay on 27 losses against Vegas. Vegas is 27, but the 28 date is there. I might just wait and see in the NHL today. Or you could take a stab at that 28 riddle. But I don't see any great clues for the Blues and Jets game. And, I mean, I'm sure the guy who's riding the Blue Jackets is betting today because that's a great payout. If the Blue Jackets do beat the Lightning today, my eyes are going to open up to what that man said. So, yeah, unfortunately, the 28th loss could go either way for this team. There's a little riddle for the Islanders to stay at the amount of losses they're at against the Penguins. So it might give a slight edge to the Islanders, but again, I'm not crazy about it when the riddle could go either way. So Islanders' next win is their 50th. Pittsburgh equals 50. They'd get their 50th win. So, yeah, I might just relax on the NHL today. Again, just one more time, going over those MLB games. Well, Cubs are off to a good start. So this was our overlap number. Angels is 58. Hamels is 58. That 5 and 8 was looking good. 39 show like crazy in this New York game. New York's 39. Giolito's 39. It's his 39th week of his age. The only scare is just that New York's also 33, but 39 is the more important number in New York. And again, there's just 39s all over the place. Pirates and Nationals, no read on it. Toronto Blue Jays, 59. We saw that there was one other thing. Anyway, the Blue Jays is who we favored there. Red Sox may be able to sweep this series. Expect them to win today. Chance that they win 4 in a row against the Orioles. So we'll evaluate that day by day, but favor the Red Sox today. Phillies had a good riddle to beat the Marlins. Braves and Mets is a little bit tight, but I'm giving the edge to the Braves. Atlanta, Georgia, 85. Georgia, 62. It can be that record for both teams. So I like the Braves. Athletics, Rangers is very close. I might shy away from this game. Drew Smiley has the 99 connection. Friday has the 99 connection. That's the biggest scare here. But despite that, I still think the Athletics might prevail in this game. So I give the edge to the Athletics. But again, I'm not crazy about that one. Think the Indians beat the Royals today. We talked about that from multiple angles. Indians had a pretty good riddle and very well win tomorrow as well because Kansas City Royals is 212. So we'll cover that before it happens. Got to make sure the Indians win today, but I do like the Indians. Padres and Diamondbacks is another tight one, but Diamondbacks being 96 and San Diego being 43, I think the Diamondbacks get this one back. Brewers and Dodgers. I think the Brewers are going to get an upset here. Los Angeles and Milwaukee equal 53, our overlap number. And if Brewers win today, we might have a sweep coming in Los Angeles by the Brewers because Milwaukee and Los Angeles are also 89. Mariners, I'm going to keep riding the Mariners. Astros and Mariners both equal 43, the 14th prime. I think opening up the series with a big win has some symbolism to it. LeBlanc's going for his 42nd win. When you write out 42, it equals 142. The only scare here is that Mariners does have Gematria 52. They could become 5-2, but 61, big baseball number. Miley also equals 26. Astros to become 2-6 away in the 206 area code. So I'm going with the Mariners. Giants look good to beat the Rockies. The pitchers got the right names. Rockies start 3-11. That's the 64th prime. Rockies equal 64. So Giants, Mariners, Brewers, Diamondbacks just barely. Indians, Athletics just barely, but really not crazy about that game. Braves got the slightly better riddle. Phillies, Red Sox, Blue Jays, no go on this one. Yankees, and Cubs are getting better by the moment. We like the Cubs, so Cubs are looking good. They had one of the better riddles today. It was 58, the pitcher and the team. So that's it. We'll be back tomorrow. Again, every day we're starting at 9 a.m. Pacific now, noon Eastern, because it's baseball season. Games start earlier. Plus, it seemed like you guys just like that overwhelmingly anyway. And I'm planning on doing a Sunday decode again. So I think through the playoff season, NHL, NBA, we'll just we'll come on and take a look at the games and just discuss things day by day, just because it's that time of year. So count on a Saturday and Sunday broadcast. And again, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. We'll leave it here for now, Truth Seeker. Good luck to you today. And keep an eye on those NHL games. Again, 102nd day of the year, 102nd Stanley Cup season. So we could see some big clues in the scores. All right, Truth Seeker. Till next time.